Hey yo, thank you for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host P. Got a new camera on y'all boys. Shit finally came in the mail and shit. Today we talking about the stuff these white supremacists are gonna be saying about Democrats running for president. Cause we got these Democratic debates popping off tonight in Detroit. Just wanted to hit my people to a couple things so y'all can know who's gonna be talking and what they're gonna be talking about, so we can know how much of ourselves to invest into it or not. All right? Let me just do this real quick. Check a few things. Make sure the stream is doing right. Okay. It's doing right. Prince of Paraphernalia, what's good, bro? What's happening? Good seeing you. So we're going to be jumping in on a few things that's happening with this little punk-ass debate today. Jumping off in a little bit. They usually got a little break beforehand, so we got some time. But the people that's going to be speaking today, the first I want to bring out and get on is Bernie Sanders. We know Bernie Sanders. He's going to be talking about we got to get rid of Trump. Trump is bad. We got to get rid of Trump. And his main talking points are, Trump throwing people off of health care, cuts to Medicare, Social Security, all this shit. He says Trump is dividing people on race and hold up. Prince Paraphernalia say everything good, fam. I might stream the bussy. What the fuck you talking about? What you talking about, Prince Paraphernalia? What that mean? Instead of calling it the debate, it's the bussy. I got you. I got it. Alright. What I'm saying, man, like Trump gonna be the centerpiece for Bernie Sanders, right? He's gonna be talking about Trump dividing people on all these different issues. He's a racist. He's a bigot. He's probably the only motherfucker out of all of the candidates running that have just straight out, flat out came out and called him a racist and a bigot. Like nobody's ever been that bold enough to call him a racist and just keep calling him a racist. Because he's an old white man. So some old white man to old white man banter. I don't think I've heard many of the other candidates sit up and go on those lines, start calling motherfuckers racists and bigots and shit like that. Until probably more recently, probably after this thing with what's the boy, Elijah Cummings. I mean, it might kind of ramp up into people, but anyway. So know that he's gonna be on some we got to get rid of Trump shit, that Talib Kweli shit. Tadweeb Kweli, right? And he also is going to be talking about this Medicare for all shit. Don't want to forget that. That's going to be one of his crowning glories because he's the only candidate. He's the candidate that brought it to the stage. He's the one who brought up that Medicare for all shit to everybody, right? What up, Philip Goodman? What's happening, man? He was the one that brought that Medicare for all to everybody, and everybody started biting off of him after he brought it up. Nobody was talking that Medicare for all shit until Bernie Sanders started spitting it. So he's going to be talking about that all through the shit. Now, what are white supremacists going to be saying about Bernie Sanders? I mean, they're going to be saying he wants to get rid of the working white people. He wants to rid the world of working white people, wants to rid the world of white people in general. This is what the white supremacists are going to say. I'm kicking it like this because I just want us to have our mind on what your average white person is thinking about. Because in order for white supremacy to last so long, the average person got to be harboring the same feelings as the extreme motherfuckers that come out saying and doing all these white supremacist acts. So I'm letting you know what's going to be at the front of the mind of your workaday white supremacists. All right, that's the point of me doing this. Next is gonna be that boy Booty Gig. He gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna leave his last booty gig to show up to this shit. He has to have a gig giving up his booty. And his shit is gonna be, raising minimum wage. He's been kicking that, raising minimum wage to $15 an hour. And that ain't changing shit. I think Kamala been kicking that shit too. She's not gonna be there tonight, but I'm saying that $15 yardstick for basically raising the bar for everybody to get $15 an hour for minimum wage, that ain't shit. That ain't helping shit when you got a group of people, ADOS, that transgenerationally have been put at the bottom of all yardsticks. So what's been accumulated out of that and what we've been stripped of out of that long period of not having anything means way more than a $15 gap. A $15 gap ain't shit. You're not going to close it with a $15 tool. A $15 wedge ain't going to flip that kind of script. You understand? It's deeper than that. So that's a little bit of the fluffer he's going to be kicking. He's going to be kicking that kind of bullshit. He's going to be talking about all these policies that he wants to spit to diminish racial inequality. He's going to be kicking all these surface level platitudes about racial inequality. He's not going to get specific, right? That's code for do nothing for black people. I just want y'all to know it. And one thing he's been jumping about, hooping and hollering about, which I think is classic white supremacist, he's talking about not criminalizing the opioid epidemic. He's made a big thing about that. He's went to all of these like rural areas and talking about he wants to not criminalize the opioid epidemic. That shows y'all what time he's on. Straight up. He's on white supremacist time. I mean, anytime there's two different yardsticks for measuring crime with, there's two different yardsticks for measuring crime with in terms of people inside of a white supremacist regime, then you know that that person using the different yardstick is a white supremacist. Don't let PDGAF fool y'all. Don't let them fool y'all with nothing, y'all. Though I gotta go further into the PD booty gig. Fresh from his dick in the booty gig. What's going on, the black boy? What's up, Queen? What's happening? Philip Goodman. Everybody share this post. Yo, what up, Philip Goodman? I think you've been in my chat before. What's good, man? Good seeing you. Now, what are the white supremacists saying about Pete digging the booty gig? They're saying he's a race baiter. He already getting hit with race baiter when this whole Elijah Cummings thing jumped off, right? They, you know what I mean? Where he was getting called out for rats and crime or whatever in the city, saying, Trump, he didn't mention race. He didn't mention race. He just called out the rats and the crime. He didn't mention a race. I mean, he didn't mention a race. It was that the crying gay dude that did, if you want to be real. It was the crying gay dude that did. And Booty Gig, he heard the cry of the crying gay black dude. That figures, right? And then he ran with it. And white supremacists are laughing at his ass for it. They're giving it to his ass about it. So they're going to put him in that box. When they see him, they're going to think, you're just going to side with the nigger faggot over some shit. We don't like you. I'm just putting it out there so y'all can know not only how the white supremacists think, how your workaday white supremacists think, your closeted white supremacists think. Because again, they think this way too. They just try to make themselves feel better all day by thinking of flowery ways to word it when they in front of you talking to your black ass. Right? So that's what's up. Who else is going to be here tonight? Oh yeah, Warren, Elizabeth, Pocahontas. Motherfucking Pocahontas, right? She's going to be talking about decriminalizing the border and decriminalizing border crossing type shit. That's just a red herring. That shit, it's too fucking late for that. They can already cross the border and it not be no consequences. It's called asylum. And we talked about that a couple of videos I did ago on that Trump and how ICE is going harder now and how Trump had this fake little wall budget he putting up for this little partition of wall that's not even going to cover the area that he's talking about. He's just putting out fluff shit to ruffle up the base. But we talked about that. Border crossing is a fucking red herring for anybody that talks it at any of these debates, sit downs, whatever the fuck. Because you can walk up to the border, and as long as you make it to the border, you're granted asylum in America. That's how it works. If you cross the border, you're granted asylum in America. Okay, so it's not like it's really an issue. Which again lends to everything else I'll be talking about what's going to happen with these people we see that have crossed the border. I've broken it down. We've spoken about the corporate leaning between this shit. So it's just a waste of time. Democrats are making a big to-do about this just to waste people's time, just to waste airspace, to burn up airspace, burn up time up until the election so Trump go on and win. You know what I'm saying? They just want to burn up time and put on a theater. We talked about that, right? Yo, what up, Niche? Penthouse, what's good, Miss Lady? Good seeing you. You know what I mean? You're just taking up space to where you be talking about reparations, goddammit. Keep that shit real. The only thing of substance in politics is reparations. You fix that, you fix the whole fucking country overnight. The politician that go for that will be a global celebrity overnight. It's like that. But Warren, she's in that pile of Democrats who are going to be kicking the garble. You know, she's going to be talking about stopping the big corporations, big corporations, big corporations. That's going to be the fluff she on, right? She runs that, what is it, the Consumer Finance Protection Agency. It's like a government group that puts pressure on banks and lenders so they don't violate customers all the way type shit. So I'm like, you know, if you can hold them accountable for the shit they do, this is a government organization. It's a government entity. If you can hold businesses accountable through your daily day, through the shit you stand for and the shit that you don't put your equity into, building and that type of shit. But you can't hold generations of banks accountable for slavery. You can't hold generations of insurance companies accountable for slavery. Okay, bitch. I mean, it's like, let's see where your priorities at, bitch. All right, so she ain't fooling us. She ain't Philip Goodman say, question, what does PDGAF stand for? It stands for P don't give a fuck, or P do give a fuck, depending on what we're talking about. But back to Warren, you know what I'm saying? What are the white supremacists going to be saying about her? They're going to be saying, we don't want no Medicare for all. We don't care about no higher taxes for paying for Medicare. We don't want no open borders. Right? She's going to be kicking that immigrant shit too. Be ready to hear her kick her bullshit. A lot of people have been saying, you know, she's been kicking the bidding of the lobbyists that pay her and pay for her campaign. And that's, you know, we broke down all that. We broke down the women's lobbyist groups that are supporting her. You understand? So white supremacists is going to be on that kick where they on some, you're for the lobbyists. You want higher taxes. You want open borders. We don't want open borders. Right? Motherfuckers going to realize people don't want open borders. That's just the newest thing. There's it's the kick. All right? And shit, she gonna learn. She gonna learn that ain't how it go, right? What she talking about, right? So with that, I want to say, who else is speaking tonight? That chick, Marianne Williamson. I'll leave it at her because everybody else don't nobody give a fuck about O'Rourke. He ain't talking shit. Klobuchar, he ain't talking shit. She ain't talking shit. The other motherfucker, Hickenlooper, motherfucker who? Nobody give a fuck about these people, man. Straight real. But Marianne Williamson, I just find her a weirdo. You understand? Like, what the fuck? I caught this post of her speaking real hard in Iowa about a couple of weeks ago. Speaking hard, like talking tough, right? Like, it's the same motherfucker that couldn't say shit at the last little get together they had. Y'all remember how she was mousing around, whispering, pispering? I'm saying, she wasn't on for nothing. She wasn't talking nothing real for real. I mean, saw this one little thing she was doing out in Iowa, some sort of haystack convention, hay feeding, corn feeding, some shit going on. She in there talking tough, like I ain't never heard her talk this tough. I ain't never heard this much bass in her voice ever. Like, what? What? Is you? Is you? Never heard it. I mean, get at the mic like that. She eating up the mic, mad. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, oh, we need to step in on white supremacy with some gruff in her voice. Talking about white supremacy. I'm like, what? You talking about white supremacy? What, nigga? We ain't hear that at the fucking debate. White supremacy? What? Talking about she want to step in on trickle down economics. Step in on discrimination against women. And all this, you know, a little bit of that Elizabeth Warren talk, a little bit of that corporation talk. We got to step in on the big businesses, on they fuckery, right? What the fuck's she on, right? So I'm laughing through the lecture that she's giving because of the fact that she just so in a tizzy about this shit. I'm like, where you get this from? This ain't how you jump. What? Right? So yeah, that shit had me rolling. She's talking about deportation raids are mean. Deporting and raiding, and that shit is mean to do. And I'm like, all right. It's not humanitarian. That's what she said. It's mean-spirited, and it's not humanitarian, is what she said. Talking about it's a humanitarian crisis going on in Guatemala. Look at what she said this. She said there's a humanitarian crisis going on in Guatemala, El Salvador. You know what I mean? Like, all right, bitch. All right. So you ain't even in the race of what's happening in America. Your mind on Guatemala, bitch. You talking about Guatemala. This is a couple weeks ago, y'all. So expect her not to be talking about reparations at this goddamn shit they got going on today. She gonna be talking about Guatemala and humanitarian shit. She was all on this shit about we need to build a department of children, not a department of, we don't need a department of war, and we need a department of children, and a department of some other shit she said. Some other shit she's kicking. I'm like, all right, bitch. Yeah. She's like, yeah, we need a department of peace. Yeah, we need a department of peace and a department of children. I'm like, bitch, all right. I mean, she's on this whole kick of we got too much military, too many prisons, and we need to spend money on peace building type shit. That's her lane. So, you know, she's about 4 seconds away from being completely embarrassed. I think tonight, yeah, she about to embarrass herself for the next 15 minutes or so. Y'all just get ready for it. She kicking that injustice in Guatemala is an injustice everywhere. See how far off the track she is of ADOS. When she sat down with Tone, motherfuckers liked her. When she sat down with Tone, I was like, all right, bitch, we going. I ain't saying liked her. Motherfuckers was kind of like watching her like, all right, bitch, what's up? Now, injustice in Guatemala is what she gonna be kicking. Just see that. Huh? So yeah, that's garbage. Who we talking about? Who in the comments here? Who is this? Take your time answering that question. Who is it? Philip Goodman say, take your time answering that question. What you're talking about is more important. I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. What you mean? The blackboard says, ADOS, put your hands up. Okay. Jalen Fox say black first, black fish. Yeah. Philip Goodman say already, bro. I wasn't sure. Aight. Word. Niche Pinna say their job is to make sure we stay at the bottom, right? Williamson is a plant, says Rich Davis. That is very true, Rich Davis. I see that motherfucker is just a stationary prop. She there just to be there. She's with all the Democrats. All the Democrats are stationary props. They're just here to take up news cycle time before President Trump wins again. That's what the fuck it is. They're just here for the theater. We just have to think around the theater, y'all, and see what's really at play and really localize our thought, not to the theater, but to what the fuck these white supremacists gonna be on around us for real when they in our face smiling, talking about, hey, did you hear about the immigrants? Did you hear about that? Yeah, bitch. We already know. That's the purpose of me doing this video. Really, really. I just want y'all to kind of have that space in your mind for that sort of investigatory thought. That's what I'm saying. Huh? I mean, but yeah, she talking super hard. Talking super hard. But anyway, what are these white supremacists gonna say, since we're talking about white supremacists? What they gonna say about Marianne Williamson? Big yapping, big yipping. They gonna say, bitch, you clear your throat too much last time we heard from you, bitch. We don't want you to be president. This is the type of shit they gonna be on. It's just gonna be simple shit that tick them off with her. Cause she ain't, fuckers don't see her as registering on any kind of level. Cause she fucked up the first time she had a chance to really show some nuts. She ain't want to show no nuts. So white supremacists, like I said, they don't respond to motherfuckers in this bitch playing with them, pitter-patting and patty-caking with them. They don't respond to a motherfucker like that. It's gonna be fuck you. We talked about the satanic ritual of white supremacy, how it's at the point to where you have to kick it in the ass for motherfuckers to really understand. You really got to go hard on it. It ain't no soft handling it that they will tolerate. That's what I'm saying. So they're gonna be like, "Yeah, bitch, you clear your throat too much, bitch. Get out of here, bitch. Yeehaw." You know what I'm saying? It's that easy for that bitch to get dismissed, right? Don't miss that. So the conclusion, y'all, just, I kind of want to make this a kind of quick video because I wanted to test the camera out and shit. I got my new camera. If y'all didn't notice, this shit's super bright as hell. Like, if I turn off my lights, you can still see me. You know what I'm saying? This shit is like super duper bright. The focus, I can get up close on this bitch. And this shit focus quick. It's real sophisticated. It finally came yesterday. I ain't got the tripod on this bitch yet because I didn't want to buy it. I didn't want to buy the tripod and the camera come fucked up. Then I'll be mad looking at the tripod like, damn, get this shit out of my face, man. I want more camera, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be sitting up here, stand up, staring at the tripod all day like, man, the fucking tripod. Man, I wish I had a camera. I wish I had a camera. Like, I don't even want to have to put myself through that, right? But like I'm saying, y'all, the conclusion of this whole thing, they're going to be sitting up talking about Medicare for all. They're going to be talking about immigrants, all the immigrant pandering you could think of. They're going to be kicking it for these next 2 days. They're probably going to be talking about gun control. I know Bernie Sanders is going to be on the hook about it. They're going to be talking about gun control, definitely because of this shit that happened with this Santino, what's the last name? The guy out in Gilroy, at the Gilroy Garlic Festival, that motherfucker. They're going to be talking about his white ass. They're going to be talking about there was another shooting that happened. Another motherfucker went crazy. They hiding his identity. He went crazy, shot some people at a Walmart, killed 2 people at a Walmart, Mississippi and shit. They're going to be talking about gun control. Expect to hear that shit tonight. And they didn't say who this guy was that did this shit, but I'm going to say this, like, anytime they don't tell you within an hour of who a person is who went on a shooting rampage, if we don't know who they are within an hour, they're a white supremacist male. Okay? Yo, this dude, he got suspended or fired or some shit, and he came back and shot up the workplace. That sound like a white dude giving a fuck about a Walmart like that. A Walmart job. Right? I hope he didn't shoot no black folk. I don't know. They're not releasing the victims either, but they're not releasing the victims' names, but then they showed a picture of somebody black in the ambulance in pain over, I don't know if there was a bystander, if they crying, they had some sort of reactions to just the issue happening, hyperventilating, and, motherfuckers, tragedy happening, people throw up and hyperventilate, all kind of shit going on. People got to get put in the ambulance sometime. Who knows why that motherfucker was in the ambulance? They didn't look like they was a shooting victim. They wasn't laying down. They ain't have them laying down, so I don't know. We'll have to see how it laid out. We'll have to see. But they're going to be talking about gun control. Expect that shit. You know what I mean? They're going to be covering all their bases on the bullshit, right? Don Ashanti 1981, what's good, bro? Says Trump will see another 4 years. Yeah, for real. For real, you know what I mean? Because ain't nobody trying to push nobody else through. Ain't nobody trying to support shit else. When it comes to what ADOS got going on. Niche Pender makes a good point. She say, yes, he will, because we are not collecting any more dust. That's Niche Pender, y'all. You heard it? Hear what she saying? Hear what she kicking? Motherfucker, ain't nobody playing with who they got coming down the pipes. If ain't nobody talking what's real. Trying to hear from nobody. Don't want to hear what nobody got to put on the table. If it ain't what we put on the table and said, motherfucker, do that. There you go. We put it on the table. Do that. All right. What is she? Needs to say, what is she? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You talking about what's the girl? Marianne? Shit, I don't know what. Motherfucker, she just a motherfucker. Whatever. Philip Goodman say, that's all you answered already. What you talking about? What you talking about, Philip Goodman? What you talking about, Philip Goodman? What you talking about, Philip Goodman? All right. All right, Philip Goodman. So, yeah. Just want to touch on those few things. Yeah. Did y'all see this one thing with Professor Black Truth? Shout out to my idol on this bitch, Professor Black Truth. Yo, he got one of his channels removed. And YouTube is, getting all kind of feedback from the Twitter community and whoever else about, put the man's channel back up, reinstate his channel. You understand? For all of y'all who've been in his timeline, I just want y'all to take note of the white supremacist troll that came through bragging about stalking his account for the past 6 months, just flagging video after flagging video, right? I put up a tweet outlining this character and what his history looked like. If y'all fuck with my Twitter, I just got my Twitter back again. I'm back on Twitter, all right? Back on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? P still DGAF. P still DGAF. All right? But I went on Twitter, made a point of putting up some of his tweets